Hello! Thank you for tuning into this week's Pick-a-Read. For the main cards, I'm going to use the Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. For the supportive Oracle cards, Wisdom of the House of Night Oracle cards. On the back here, it says who they're from. But if you look up the Wisdom of the House of Night, you'll find them. Alright, this week's question. How will the holiday play out for me? So, I'm going to do 5 piles as normal. Let's get the cards out. I have shuffled them, but I haven't created the piles yet, so let's do that right now. Alright, and we're going to use this other deck. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I feel like that's good. Alright, so we're going to move those over. Now, one of these stones is ridiculously huge. I'll give you the fair warning, but I love it, and I have the strong urge to put it in here. So there's going to be this. This is orange calcite, and I believe there's been a couple really good references, and I've seen some very smart people that give really good reasons why they think it's this stone or that stone. Some people think it's fluorite, some people think it's green calcite, but I've had some very intelligent people explaining to me why they think it's what. I do kind of feel like it's calcite though, but the fluorite made sense to me. Although there's not purple in here, it's actually brown, in case that makes a difference to somebody. But go with what you think is right. Go with the meaning of the stone based on what you think is right. I'm kind of going the calcite way at the moment. There was some very, very strong reasons it could be either stone. Very smart people, and thank you for everybody who's made comments, because I haven't read them. That's where I'm going to go for now with that. This is the titanium rainbow quartz. That's rose quartz and the rainbow hematite. And we're going to put a message, a written message or a channeled message, I guess if you'd like, for each one here. Okay, so I actually want to do this first because it's a huge giant stone. So we'll do the orange calcite first. We'll do I'm going to call it green calcite second. And it does have similar qualities, so I don't know. The green calcite here seems a little bit more like glass, but Third, we'll do the rose quartz. If I can get it over here so it stays together. Pardon me for a moment here. Then we'll do the titanium rainbow quartz. I usually refer to as the dark rainbow. And the final one we'll do is the rainbow hematite. Let's get that right out of frame. Okay. So the first one we're going to do. Orange calcite. And this is for emotional balance, happiness. It's also used for cleansing the sacral chakra, but I love this stone, so it does not shock me at all. This is for happiness because it makes me so happy. I mean, I know it's ridiculously huge. It is. Biggest stone I own, I think. But I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So for the longest time, I've been resisting putting it on camera because I'm like, oh, it's too big. It's just ridiculous. But I'm okay with that. Let's see what we got coming forward. This is how will your holiday play out. So we got the good card in the center. This kind of makes sense to me. Now they got happy. This is kind of a happiness, finding that emotional balance. The emotional balance might be the thing. It might be one of those things kind of like making it what you want of it in the sense, or like, for example, if you're invited to an event, a party, if you will, maybe showing up maybe a bit late, or letting this person know, or whoever you're going to see, I might be an hour, hour and a half late, and maybe you have to leave a little early. That might work out for you, or something like that, because I noticed at the bottom, and I wrote this down, and I had a very interesting feel here. Do I want to be left out? Do I want to be left out of it? In the sense of the way it felt when I was writing it down is kind of like you might end up feeling very, like I don't want to deal with this situation. It just seems too intense. But then again, when it plays out, and you're not really involved with it, you might kind of be like, well, after it's played out and you hear about everything that went well, you're going to be kind of like, maybe I should have been a part of it. Maybe it's kind of like 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other. It's kind of, there is some joy here, but there's some stress too. And it's kind of like, do I really want to be completely left out? Or maybe do I just want to like cut down how much I involve myself with this? Instead of being there the full, for example, if it's 3 to 4 hours, maybe if I'm just there like 2.5 hours, maybe that's better for me. What's better for me? How does this work out better for me? And I feel like there's ways you might be able to work that around, letting that person know, or whoever you're going to visit, or if it's a party, like, I have some things to do beforehand, so I'm going to be a little bit late, and I might have to leave a little bit early. You want to make it flexible for yourself. So if you change your mind, it's easily changed. Like if you decide you want to stay longer, you can change it to make it easily so you can stay longer. I'm also getting, though, as we're coming into this, the trapped card is feeling like one of the reasons where you might have a little bit of apprehension with this is kind of because it feels like an obligation, like you have to do it. Like you're being forced into doing something that you really don't want to do, or you're feeling if I don't do it, it may look bad or may cause some repercussions later, or might leave you kind of a little bit, lacking. So that might be the whole reason for the aversion, is the trapped feeling, kind of like, I can't get out of this, I have to do this, which just might annoy you just to begin with. Just the fact that you have to do it might annoy you, especially like, is this supposed to be fun? Yeah, I have to do it? That doesn't seem cool. So when it's coming in with the Empress going into the Nine of Cups, I do feel like this is a good situation. I do feel like this is fun. But the hinging part might be like being forced. I don't really think most people like being forced, but that's my interpretation. I know there's certain, whatever, moving on from that. Most of the time, people don't like to be forced into things. And I'm getting, as this keeps going forward, like it is a good situation, the Empress going into the Nine of Cups. Ironically, I feel like it's a good situation that you're actually going to have fun with. The kicker here is like being pushed or forced. I feel like that's not fun. Like, you know what, come on, like back off a little bit. But you might have leeway to like reduce your connection to it, reduce how long you have to be there. Now, will it go well? How will it play out for you? You got the Six of Swords. I'm kind of getting, for a lot of you, there should be a way to you could make it that you can shorten down your connection. But you want to make this to where you have control in the moment, to where if you want to stay longer, you can choose to do so, and you can choose to elongate it if you so wish. But shortening it down and having the control to lengthen it if you desire to, that's the thing here. Desire comes in a little funny. Because I'm getting like emotionally disconnecting here might be a thing too. Because I feel like at some point you may want to disconnect. For some of you, you might be like, well, this is a bit much, and it's better for me to walk away. This is really what I'm feeling here. If you want this to really work out well, I feel like there's going to be a moment during the event, during the situation, whatever you're connected to, you're going to have this little feeling like maybe now it's time to go. And I feel like part of you is also going to be like, but it's so much fun right now. Do I really want to go? Go. I don't know how to explain this better. Like, I've been through these experiences more than once, where there's a good party or a good situation and you're invited and you're there and you're enjoying it and it's fine, but you're having this little inkling saying, you know what, it's probably good to go now. Go now. Go when that feeling hits. Even if you're like, but it's so much fun. Do I really want to go? Go. Because you're getting a heads up that it's best for you to leave now. You may never see a repercussion from this. Like if you leave when you're supposed to, when the inkling comes, you may never see a reason why you left. But if you stay, you might find out why you should have went, if that makes sense. You might end up with an argument. You may drink a little too much. You may do this. You may do that. You may witness something that you don't want to witness. I don't know where that's going, but I'm getting like when you're getting the inkling to walk away, if you really want this to be a good moment for you, just do it. Just do it. Just go. Don't second guess it. Just be like, oh, I gotta go. Go home and have a piece of pie or something. Do what you gotta do. Because I'm getting here confidence at the end, especially when they're saying, how will this play out for you? If you walk away when you should, you seem to gain more confidence in yourself. For some of you, you might get that little inkling, or you might find out afterwards, I left 10 minutes before this happened or that happened. And they were like, yeah, after you left, all this went to crap. Or this person did that, or that person did this. You might get a lot more confidence in your own ability, especially the people here who are connected kind of like I am, where you get that little voice or that little inkling like, you should go now. And you find out, after you left, like somebody tells you down the road, yeah, you left, and then 15 minutes later, so-and-so, started a fire. And you're like, what? You might gain more confidence in your own ability here. Because I feel like just have confidence that handling it this way, shortening it down, leaving when you want to leave or when you're getting the inkling to leave, that's the best idea for you. That's where you have the most happiness, this big giant stone of happiness here. Because I feel like the biggest kicker here is also, again, I know we're reiterating this, but the being trapped or being forced into something, that's not cool. I feel like that might be the biggest thing here. If you feel like you're forced or trapped into doing something, that can really cause an ill feeling. But they're saying just shorten it down, have some more control with yourself. And when you're getting that urge to like, maybe I should leave, just go. Everything will work out fine and you'll be fine. All right, I feel like I've kind of like, my mouth just kept going and going and going. So I think we're going to end this one here. So this one's good. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, go ahead, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. All right, now let's pick up these and we'll go into the next one. And I'm just going to put these to the side. The next one we're going to do, and I explained this in the beginning, we're going to just refer to this as green calcite. I always use this for like focus, but I'm also getting like something with confidence and trust also comes through. Finding reasons to trust people or having that stronger trust. I don't want to say this brings forth blind trust, but it brings forth reasons to trust something. Shows you like validating reasons to trust something. Like it brings things forward to show like this is a trustful situation. This is something you can trust. It's just not blind trust because I feel like that would be false, but it brings things forward or helps, find angles to like, oh, this is why I can trust this. I did see that happen before. I think I can trust this because of this reason. But a sharpening of the mind and focus is also a very strong thing here. Okay. This kind of goes here and here. I feel like it's here and here, just to be fair, so you're going to see me move this, hopefully. Now, how will the holiday play out for you? Now, I feel like when I'm seeing this is a very interesting card, because I feel like this is a situation that's very good, but doesn't make sense to start with. And it's one of those things where some people may feel like, I don't know what's really happening here. I don't know where I fit. Just feeling a little bit out of sorts. But the thing is, you're probably not the only person feeling that way. And you can bond with other people feeling the same way. Because I feel like what it says here, like, where do I belong? Where do I fit? I just feel like a fish out of water here. You're not the only one. Guess who's back? Oh, that's fun. And I'm noticing it's right here with the king. It's starting right under here under the king. You're feeling out of place, but I'm seeing somebody says, guess who's back? So I almost feel like somebody's showing up, but with the King of Wands, I am getting a little tingle of the Knight energy. He's clearly the king, I get that. But I am getting a little bit, especially with the Knight energy with the horse, like the Death card has a horse on it on this one. I am getting a little bit of the Knight energy here. Somebody's back. Somebody's showing up you're not expecting, and I feel like that's why you're kind of feeling out of sorts. You're just kind of like, I don't know how to relate to this person. Like this person showing up at this event or this party, and you're just kind of like, oh, I did not expect to see you here. Are you back for good? The Death card is making me wonder, are they back for good? They're coming in out of nowhere is what I'm getting. Like this is not somebody you're expecting to see. It's up to you whether you like seeing them or not, because they're not really giving me that. It depends on the situation you're dealing with. Somebody's showing up that you're not expecting, and you're feeling kind of awkward. But what I'm also getting with this belonging card, the House of Night, they might not know what to do either. They might feel a little out of place too. And if this is viable for you, you might want to approach this person and talk to them about, just bring it forward like, oh, I didn't expect to see you here. How are you doing? Because I feel like this could go a little better for you. It could bring forth a lot more happiness, a lot more relief of stress. this person I feel like is a little bit out of sorts. And when it says, guess who's back with this belonging and the King of Wands and the Death card, I feel like this is something they have to come to. This is something they have to come back into. The Death card is saying this is something that ended abruptly before is kind of how this feels. And it might be starting abruptly again too. Now as we move this here, the Eight of Pentacles connecting in with this as well, I feel like this person is trying to reestablish connections. I feel like this person is feeling like they never left. And this may be an awkward feeling for you because I'm feeling like it's the question, is this person going to stick? Are they going to stay? It's 6 one, half a dozen to the other. It's a general read, and I'm having a hard time really deciding yes or no if they will. For some of you, they are back, but for some of you, this is just a flash in the pan. Here again, but then gone again. As you talk to this person, you need to talk to this person is what they're telling me, and you'll be able to see where's the eight. Where are their Eight of Pentacles? Are they invested in this situation? Are they coming back in? Or are they invested in something else, and are they just popping in for a quick visit, and then they're going back to what they were doing, and you're not going to see them again? I'm feeling you're going to need to talk to them to find out, are they back permanently? When the guess who's back is coming in, it's like, is it just here for a moment, or are they going to stay? It's a general read. I really feel like you got to talk to this person. As you talk to them, you'll know for sure if they're going to stick around or not. It's going to play out well either way, because if you talk to them, you'll know where this is going and you'll know what to do appropriately. If they're coming back and they're staying, you're going to know what you need to do. If they're coming back and they're just coming back for a minute and then they're going to go away, well then, no big deal. It's just a moment, letting it go. Who really cares? I don't know how callous that sounds, but that's what I'm getting. Now the trust here, because I'm feeling that trust feeling with this stone. And they're saying focus and sharpening your abilities here. Talk to this person. Can you trust that they're back? Can you trust that they're back? If you don't talk to this person, you're not going to be able to trust what's going on. You're not going to know what's going on. You're going to have very wavering trust, like, I don't know what to make of this. I don't have to think about things going forward. Get your trust for the situation. Talk to them. Talk to them. What's going on? I think we're there. All right. That's that one. Let's pick that up. Oh, and by the way, if you'd like a reading from me, go ahead, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. You can purchase a reading from me, and you can do that and see what type of answers we can get you. All right, the next one. I find this very interesting stone, by the way. It is rose quartz. And the reason I find it interesting is because it's very pale, in my opinion. I like this stone because I feel like it brings forward a touch of love with your enthusiasm. Like doing things in a caring manner, but having a lot of energy, but putting in a little touch of love with it, a little touch of caring, a little touch of looking out for somebody else sometimes. And that's why I like this stone. I think that the very pale pink color with this, like there's another rose quartz that I have. I think this one's a lot darker, to me anyway, off camera, so I don't know how you're seeing it. But just wanted to bring that forward, and let's see what we got with this one. Everyone is busy not seeing what's going on. Could use a little more touch of love already is what I'm thinking with that. No. Okay. Now, I don't know if you can see all these cards, so I'm going to try to move them into focus a little more so you can see them. Alright, so the top is more what you're dealing with, what you're doing. The bottom down here is what's going on around you. So, you got rigid. That's on your side. You got forbidden on the other side, which actually feels like, to me, when I look at this card, especially when I'm looking at it right now, it looks like a door that you want to open so bad. It's just like, where is the key to this stupid door? That's my first thought. Like, where is the key to this door? How do I get in there? Like, I just want to know what's in there. That's all. It's driving me nuts. Like, I just really got to know what's in there. I really want to know what's in there. And you don't have the key, thus making it forbidden. Now, I'm noticing that the forbidden is in the environment, and you have rigid, which makes me feel like, especially with the crow here, the crow has a lot of gifts. Is kind of how I look at the crow. Crow has a lot of gifts. It's a connection to night. It's a connection to emotion for me anyway. Magic, magic too, of course. Now I'm feeling all this coming in. And I feel like other people are looking at you like you have the answers, or you could get them in this door, and they need to get in this door, but they're looking at you like you need to get them in this door. Now, I'm noticing this energy, and I'm feeling what I wrote down here, and I'm kind of feeling like somebody's kind of like, I need to get in this door, and I know you can do it. Can you just get me in the door? The moon, you notice the moon is connecting this, and it's a beautiful card for the moon, especially with this black cat. I think it's so beautiful. The purple tones, I love it. But it's kind of like you're not seeing it for what it really is. And I'm getting here, everyone is busy not seeing what is going on. This person who can't get in this door, they're not supposed to get in that door. Thus forbidden. They're not supposed to. Be careful with someone trying to get you to do something for them that maybe that they shouldn't have done. That maybe it shouldn't happen for them. I know that might seem a little bit difficult to decide whether that's true or not, but I'm getting like, be careful with this. Because I'm feeling like somebody's trying to get you to help them get through something or get something that they're not supposed to get. They're not supposed to have something. And I feel the rigid on your side kind of like, well, if I just help them, I can move on and finish what I'm doing. That's the rigid, like being very focused on what you need to do and what you need to get through. So you're like, if I just, here's the key, just go open the door and go away. Because I'm feeling that energy there. And you might be in a good mood. You might not say it very crass like I just did. You might be like, oh, okay, here's the key, enjoy, knock yourself out. They're saying, be careful. Be careful, because the moon is saying somebody's going to get you to help them, and they shouldn't get this help. Something isn't right here. It could have repercussions against you, or it could be doing something for them that's not good. One thing I'm feeling is kind of like, and I know this is stereotypical, but you got to think about what you're doing. Like when you give to somebody, I got to be careful how I say this. You give to somebody, you give them a nice gift. And then you find out they sold that gift, took the money, and they bought something that was not good for them. Fill in the blank with whatever you want, but you know what I mean. That's what you got to be careful. Like, take it with a grain of salt, but look at the situation. Make sure you're not doing something for somebody that it's really actually going to work against them or you down the road. Because they're saying like somebody's not supposed to get something, and they're going to get you to help them, and you're going to be very busy. You're not seeing what's really going on here. So just be careful, because the moon is saying you're not going to see what they're really going for. They're just going to be like, I can't get in this door. Can I have your key? And you're like, yeah, sure. Not realizing what they're going to get behind that door that they should not have. I feel like this is the advice here. Over here is what they're saying. The Three of Pentacles reversed going into the Ace of Pentacles. If you just stay out of it, I can't help you right now, or kind of push it off. I'll try to help you when I can. Just give me a moment and I'll help you. Like, you don't want to just give somebody your key and let them get in that door on their own. If you're really going to let them in that door, go with them. Open the door for them and make sure that they only take what they're supposed to take, and then shut the door behind you. Shut the door after you're both out and lock it again, and you keep the key. If you insist on opening this door, and I know there's a lot of analogies going on there, but you'll know what that door is. Just keep your eye on it. Pay attention to what they're doing. Pay attention to what you're really helping here, if you insist on opening it. But they're saying with this better here is to just kind of brush it off and don't get involved. The Three of Pentacles reversed is like, that's the lack of work. That's not working on something. That's not helping. In this sense of like not getting involved, not helping. Like, it's helping the situation by staying out of it. Because if you stay out of it and you don't open that door for this person or these people, whoever it is, the Ace of Pentacles is saying everything will work out, everything will have its place. It's a lot better down the road if you don't help. Things just work out naturally. But I feel like they're saying everybody's so busy, just be careful. Now, this rose quartz, this pale rose quartz here is saying you can do it with a touch of love. You can be very nice about it, and that's great. And I feel like you probably do have some love for this person. This person does have some love for you. But they're saying whatever this is they want, it's not going to serve them and or you. Just be careful. The best idea here is to not help them with this, or advise somebody else to help them, something like that. Only if you can step away and you insist on helping this and you're like, I really have to help them, Get involved and see exactly what they're doing. Pay close attention because you need to know what they're doing to make sure that this is something you really want to be a part of. If you just stay out of it altogether, things go a lot better. But if you insist on helping, if you insist like, I have to open that door, I just can't do that, I don't feel like it's right. All right, cool. But get in there, find out what's actually happening and see what they're actually doing. Don't just hand them the key and walk away. You're asking for trouble. Are we good? All right, I think that one's good. So, by the way, if you'd like a reading from me, just shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you very much for watching. All right, now let's go into the next one, which is the titanium rainbow quartz. And this one is a very peculiar stone because it's clear quartz crystal that's been manufactured a certain way. And at first I was a little apprehensive about it, like, do I want this to be a part of my situation? You know, do I want to use this? But I do like this stone. I am drawn to it, and I know other people are too. It's supposed to be for grounding, centering, energizing, gaining confidence, and focus all at once. It seems like it's a very complicated stone. It does seem to gain focus, though, because it seems like it kind of diffuses negativity. That's what I feel. It seems to diffuse negativity. That's how I feel about it. I don't know. You have to work with it yourself to decide what you feel. But that's the energy I'm coming into when I'm connecting to it, just to be fair. Now, what do we have for you? I know I keep connecting with the House of Night cards first, I'm noticing. And we want to turn these on their side a little bit for some reason. I guess we'll find out why in a minute. Bring people closer. Bring people closer. And I got this. I feel like it's diffusing negativity. I feel like I really do. I have that weird feeling with that. I haven't really read it that way before, but that's what I'm feeling. Now you got conclusions, 7 of Wands, and the Temperance. Bringing people closer together. Bringing people closer. Because I feel like a connection. I feel like this is solving a problem. Now when I'm getting conclusion, I literally feel like chapter 1 is the problem. Like something went wrong. Somebody was upset. Something didn't go up very well. It's almost like maybe a divorce happened, or somebody cheated on somebody else. Somebody took something they shouldn't have taken. But this feels like there's a history feel like here. Like this happened a ways back. And I feel like what they're saying is you can bring this to the end. Bring people closer. People that you don't think get along, or maybe you want to kind of like settle a riff. And like I'm usually very cautious about trying to settle other people's riffs. I'm quite cautious about that. But I'm feeling like they're saying bring people together, because this is a time where you can diffuse the negativity. People can just kind of be like, well, this didn't work out right, but it's over. And we've learned our lessons, and let's just put it behind us. Let's let things go. Bring people closer. I feel like this is like a heads up saying this is okay to bring people closer now. Conclusions with 7 of Wands, overcoming these adversities. Kind of facing them is how you're overcoming them. By facing them, you overcome them. And they're also giving the Temperance at the end here, saying, you know what? It's not just, what do you want to call it? A magical ending, if you want to go that. I don't know if I want to say that. But you know what I mean? It's not going to be like 2 seconds. Oh, everything's great. Oh, we're all happy again. It's like nothing ever happened. No, we're not saying that at all. We're saying with the Temperance is that this ends that situation, that this ends the conflict. And then the emotions kind of thaw out over time. But this is actually ending the problem so that, people feel like they got resolution. Things were talked out. Things are let go. And then the emotion takes some time to, release, to let go, to drain out, if you will. The situation may go well. And yeah, it brings a conclusion to it. But it's going to take some time for the emotions to just kind of diffuse. And I'm kind of feeling that's why the titanium rainbow quartz is over here, because it's like diffusing that negativity and letting everything just kind of settle out and just kind of thaw. It's going to take some time, but it will diffuse it. This will give it a reason. There'll be a reason here to let it diffuse. The only other thing I want to say with this is I'm noticing they're a little bit cockeyed here. They're a little bit off to the center, which tells me it's a good thing to do this. It will overcome the situation. It will take some time. but it may be a little bit rocky to get through it. It may be a little bit hard to actually do this and get through this. They're not saying it's going to be an easy trip. It's just a worthwhile one. You got to bring people closer to do this. Down the road, you'll be happy you did it. Looking back, you'll be happy you did it. Going through it might be a little rough to get it to all work out, but it will at least bring this to an end. So they're saying, yeah, this might be worth it for you, especially in the long run. You got to decide what's right for you. All right, I think that's what we got for this one. All right, so if you'd like a direct reading from me, go ahead and shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you. All right, let's go on to the last one we got here, which is the Rainbow Hematite, which I love the Rainbow Hematite. Before I go too far into this, I always say this, I know, but I'm going to say it again. I really feel like this is reclaiming personal power and grounding yourself by reclaiming your own personal power. If you feel somebody's taken your power or somebody has control over you, this is reclaiming control over yourself and grounding yourself to know what you really want to do. I have seen it referred to as controlling other people. I mean, I don't know. I don't feel that right now, but I guess you could use this that way. A positive way, in my opinion, to use this is when you feel like you've lost control or somebody else is manipulating you or has control over you. This is a stone to get regain control of yourself and what you think and what you want to do. And feeling empowered to do that. Express love with gratitude. Oh, you got self-worth, the first card, too. 4. Where's the last one going to go? Right down here. Okay. That's the 4 of Pentacles. I think it's all in frame. Okay, so for the last one we got here. You've got self-worth, High Priestess of Fire, Page of Cups. And now this express love with gratitude, that's kind of what we're trying to get into that. We're trying to get into this to make things better is what I'm getting. This is reclaiming your strength, reclaiming your own personal power and grounding that and feeling strong within that. Because there could be an element of wondering, if I really fit. Do I really fit here? Do I have what it takes to make this happen? Can I really stand up to whatever the situation and or person is doing? The Page of Cups, like if you look at the person here, they look quite young to me. In this deck especially, look very young. A young person, like maybe 12, 13, that person looks. I would say you're not feeling up to the task. You might be hiding that, but the self-worth and the Page of Cups is telling me it's kind of like you're coming up against a dragon. It's kind of like a person going up against a dragon. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that. I don't know what you expect me to do about that. But you're also noticing coming in with the High Priestess of Fire. Even though you may feel this way, you may have the gumph to kind of like, you know what? If it burns me to a cinder, then at least it'll be over. I'm going to fight this. I'm not going to live in fear. I need to get this back. And they're saying with this, yes, you do need to get your strength back. You do need to feel like you're in control again. And what they say with this is where they express love with gratitude. Like, be nice to this person. Stand your ground. Do what you need to do. And just, I know this may sound odd, but validate them. And validate that you're hearing them, but also validate what you're going to do. Reclaim your power. Reclaim what you want to do. Even if what they're asking you to do or what they're trying to tell you to do is something you already want to do anyway, okay, do that, but also make sure they know, like, yeah, I agree, I do want to do that. This is where I want to go, so I'm glad you agree. You don't want to make it like I want to say a pissing match, but there you go. You don't want to make it like that, like who's actually making the decision. You know you're making the decision because you could say no. You could. So don't get into a left-right argument with this person. Just kind of like, yes, I agree. That's what I want to do, so I'm glad you're already on board with that. Don't get into a debate. Just keep walking forward because I'm getting here the Five of Swords is saying this person is going to try to fight for that control and they're not going to let go. The way you get control of this and just let it go is just kind of like, yeah, that's what I want to do anyway. So I'm glad you agree. They're going to try to counter like it's their idea. Just move on from the conversation. and just say, yeah, I'm glad that you feel that way. Just move on from the conversation, regain your control, knowing that you're the one deciding. Doesn't matter what their opinion is, just keep moving. Because you're not going to really win that. You're not going to get them to say, oh, okay, yeah, that's your idea. Yeah, okay, that's your decision. They're going to still try to play it off as if it's their decision, as if they have control. As long as you know that you're only doing this because you want to, that's all that matters. Doesn't matter what they think. Doesn't matter what they're saying. Just make sure you keep your strength. And if you know what, you're going to go a different way, you're going to do something different that's not what they want, just say what you're going to do. If they counter it, just move on from it. Just ignore the rest of the conversation and keep going. And later when you're doing what you want to do and you'll be like, well, I told you, and then you just leave it at that. But just try to keep it as positive. Just don't go, I know this sounds bad, but don't sink to their level. Don't do it. Because they're saying you're not going to win it. They're never going to let go. They're just going to keep talking. They're going to talk over you. They're going to talk around you. They're not going to back down. But they're saying for you to get your control back, say what you mean, say how you feel, say what you're going to do, let go, move on. That's it. Let go, move on. If they're trying to get something else out of you, all you have to do is walk away or change the subject. If they force you to, I don't know how they could, but this seems like a very formidable energy. You just make sure you just stick with, I'm going to do this because I want to. This is what I'm going to do and want. This is what I want to do. And just keep moving away. Try to get away from the conversation. Try to change the conversation. They're saying there's no win to this. There's no winning with this person. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you're able to disconnect from them, that's the best you can do right now. They're saying your high priestess of fire power, the strength you have just to say, this is what I'm going to do and let it go, that's all you need. You don't have to like come at this dragon like you have to slay the dragon. The dragon isn't going to be slain. But if you want to get around the dragon and you find a little path or a little tunnel to get around them, take the tunnel. Take the tunnel and let it be. Let the dragon be. I hope that makes sense. Because they're saying basically, don't fight it. Say what you're going to do what you need to do, but don't try to challenge this opponent as if you're going to beat them, because they're not going to back down. They're not going to give up. I don't see you overcoming them. But do what you want to do. Reclaim your power. This is what I'm going to do. That's it. If you have to give notice about it, then give notice about it, then move away from it. Go around it, go under it, walk away, change the subject, whatever you got to do. Just don't get into a pissing match with this person. It's not worth it. They're not going to back down. I hope that helps. All right, I'm going to let that be there. I think that's the last one, so we're done. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.